Hello everybody, welcome back to the madness. I'm the host of this nightmare, the Madman of Mensis, and welcome to Dear Esther. This is a game that I have played before. It's a very beautiful game, and it's one I never uploaded to this channel. I'm pretty sure I have uploaded it to an old channel before, but that was long ago. But I never got to see this game in its full beauty because I could only do about half graphics on this because my computer was not up to snuff. But this game is very beautiful. I found it very profound when I played it the first time. So I hope to capture that again. So, let's get started. Hello again, everyone. I just wanted to hop in and explain something about this video. You see, this one is not going to be like the usual videos that I upload. Usually I try to add funny jokes or sound effects, and I tend to cut out what I feel is not necessary for the video. This time, I'm keeping the editing to a minimum, and I've kept my in-game commentary just to my observations about what's going on as well. This video is more of an experience than a game, and it's honestly one that I found pretty profound. It stuck with me, even this long after the video. If you're here for some action, or to laugh at some funny fails, then this video might not be for you, and that's alright. There are plenty of other videos on my channel you may enjoy. Liza P is on Wednesdays, Elden Ring is around here somewhere, and you might like a bit of vampire as well. But if you're willing to join me on this journey, then welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the experience.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Interesting. So the dialogue actually changes. I booted this up just to test it, get a feel for the graphics and the controls. Oh my god. The items have changed too. That is crazy, because there used to be a pamphlet right here. Oh, that is actually cool. I want it to go up there. And let's come in here. What is the significance of the glowing blue paint? Do I want to travel the upper path or the lower? I think I'll go the upper path. Holy shit, this is beautiful. Can I could walk off. Did I miss a turning point? Did I miss the path up? Interesting. So I thought it was a choice of paths. It doesn't seem to be. We'll follow the path for now. Walking along this path, I can smell the salt, the seawater. I can, ooh, I can smell the ocean. I can practically feel the sand beneath my feet. Brings back memories. Summer vacations with the family. Okay, I could go up, or...
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
I decided to take the lower path. I wonder if there's multiple endings to
I
this.
have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Huh. Wait, is this a dead end? This is a dead end. Oh my god, I've got to walk all the way back. Oh well, honestly, I'm not angry. I almost feel like in a game like this, it would be better to remain quiet. Oh, every button I push does that. I feel like it would be better to remain quiet and let the story speak for itself, rather than commentate on it. I know where I'm headed. I know where this story takes me. And I'm right here. can all see where the story takes me. Do I have a body? No.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Huh. I wonder how...
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Do we want to go right or left? I don't think it matters. I think it all ends up
I
going the
quote
same way.
directly: a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most God-forsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
Huh. I wonder how drastically the story changes.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason, or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Let's see what's in here.
I would leave you presents outside your retreat in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
There's that diagram again. I wonder what that is. Maybe some sort of a medicine, since these are all like... this is all like bacteria, different forms of viruses, parasites, something like that. Did Esther get sick, perhaps? Or maybe this guy is sick? I don't know. What is that? Is that a cave? I wish I could go near it. I can't. I think, for the most part, I'm going to remain quiet unless there is something to comment about. Apart from this explanation and what I was talking about earlier, I'm going to try to keep fillers to a minimum. Because I think the story deserves to tell itself.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and rib cage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
I wonder if this is a gravesite. Oh?
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Huh. I think I got the light. Alright, I think I got the light. Give me just a moment. I know I said I wouldn't put any filler in this, so I'm sorry, but I'm feeling something. So what I'm doing now I'm lighting a candle. Add a bit of atmosphere. And you know what? This candle is the scent of salted driftwood. So I believe it's perfect.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
Is this not the right way? Oh, hold on. Huh. I will try going up. Oh, it's over that way. Okay. Hmm.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Oh. Oh.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Okay. I thought it was a disease that took Esther. It was not. That actually hit kind of hard. Let's go on the middle path. Not that I really think it matters. Oh my god.
Is this what Paul saw through his windscreen? Not Lot's wife looking over her shoulder, but a scar in the hillside, falling away to black forever.
Was Paul the one that hit Esther?
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
I once had a good friend named Sapphire. She was like a sister to me. Knew her for several years. And one day she just stopped messaging. She stopped talking. I didn't hear from her, didn't know what happened to her. And then
the bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
about a week later, I got a message from...
My heart is landfill. These false dawns waking into the still never light. I sweat for you in the small hours and wrap my blankets into a mass. I have always heard the waves break on these lost shores, always the gulls forgotten. I can lift this bottle to my ear, and all there ever is for me is this Hebridean music.
This paint again. To finish what I was saying, I got a message a few days later from Sapphire's father. She had died in a car accident. A drunk driver had crossed into the lane of her friend who was driving. Both Sapphire, her friend, and the driver, the drunk driver, all died. More of that. It's sad. It really is. I do miss her every now and again. It's been over 10 years, and I still think about that sometimes. So hearing that Esther had died because of a drunk driver, just reminded me of Sapphire.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
I think he's alluding to alcohol.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
I'm wondering if the guy I'm playing is actually Donnelly. Into the underworld.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Ascent, huh?
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
Can I get up now, please? Thank you. Oh. Okay.
was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
We go from drawings of viruses to electrical diagrams. Wait, so where do I go? I feel like this was not here before. I remember my first playthrough of this. I was uneasy during this entire thing because I thought something was gonna happen. I thought something was going to be there. I thought there was gonna be some terrifying twist.
I am traveling through my own body, following the line of infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. I swallow fistfuls of painkillers to stay lucid. In my delirium, I see the twin lights of the moon and the Ariel shining to me through the rocks.
Hold on. But wait. Let me go down first. I wonder if this game does have multiple endings. I don't think it does. I think it does culminate in just a single profound moment. But I want to see if I can go deeper. The river actually does pull me along. Oh, hold on. Oh, that shot. Aw. Uh-oh. Yeah, please tell me I can get up. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get back. Unless I can get out right here. No. Well, this was a mistake. Okay. There's that spiral. Hold on, wait, but what's up here? I can't go that way.
This cannot be the shaft they threw the goats into. It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
Oh, yep. Not in the exact middle.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
I want to get up there now. Is it not gonna... Oh. Hey. And those are the white lines. And there's the radio tower.
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all.
There's something up there, and I want to see it. Okay. That was a little unnerving, also. I'm beginning to think he's Donnelly again. He is Paul. He is Donnelly. And he is Jacobson as well. What is this? Parts from the car.
Hall by the roadside, by the exit for Damascus, all ticking and cooled, all feathers and remorse, all of these signals routed like traffic through the circuit diagrams of our guts, those badly written boats torn bottomless in the swells, washing us forever ashore.
Hold on, I want to... A light from heaven shone around him, I think? I will go back this way.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. And now, the ascent. I've taken so many screenshots of just this game.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
I thought that was a person.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
As he was proceeding on his journey, come near to Damascus. neither did he eat.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
3 days without sight, and neither did he eat nor drink.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Keys. Car keys. I think that one's gonna be the winner. And it came to pass that as I made my journey and come. Something Damascus. I can't read it. Holy shit.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus. run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent. Come back.
And there you have it. That was Dear Esther. Oh, God, that ending. That still gets to me. That is a beautiful ending. It really is. Uh, I don't know uh, if there are other endings or what. It seems like a straightforward one. Either way, I hope you guys liked it. I tried to keep as quiet as possible throughout most of it and just commented on things I felt needed commenting on or merited some comment. Other than that, I wanted to let the story speak for itself. Thank you all so much for joining me on this ride. And I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye. Thank you all for sitting in on another Mensis lecture. If this madman's knowledge helped you to gain a bit of insight, consider hitting that subscribe button down below to enroll at the illustrious School of Mensis and join us in communion. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when any new insights are found, and I will see you for the next lesson. Class dismissed.